Hello, in this video we're gonna learn how to install Git, which is a version control tool. We're gonna install the Windows version. We're not gonna use it for version control in this class. Git is a very powerful tool when you want to install or when you want to store different versions of something that you're creating. It might be a piece of code, a software program that you're writing, or it might also be a web page that you're creating, and you can store multiple versions on a Git compatible service like GitHub, which is a free service. But in this class, we're going to use Git for something different. Git for Windows comes with a bash shell, which is a born again shell, or a command line shell that can be used to run Linux commands or Unix commands that we need to handle very large files that we're going to use in this class. So let's start. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to open a browser window and you're going to go to git4windows.org. Again, that is git4windows.org, and you're going to download Git. So I'm going to download for Git for Windows here, and we're going to install it. Once it's downloaded, we're going to double click here. We're going to accept the license. We're going to install it in the default location, and we're going to accept all the default options for displaying on our desktop and so on. And we're going to let Git decide everything else for the default setting. Okay, there you go. So once it's installed, we're going to open it just like any other Windows program, and we're going to use it to run some command line commands to deal with some very large files. Okay, so let's say finish here. We need to read the notes, and let's see here. If we go here to the start menu and I type Git, notice that it installed a few things. The one that we're going to use in this class is Git bash. Again, bash stands for born again shell, and the shell again is a command line environment. So I'm going to run it here. Notice that it's a very small there. The first thing that you could do is if you want to change the size of those fonts. So I'm going to click here and I go to font. There you go. I'm going to change the font, and I'm going to change the font here, and let's pick something much larger and easier to read, maybe 16. Say okay. We're going to save this, and there you go. So it's a lot easier to read. Now we have our command line, our Git born again shell or bash shell for Windows, and it gives us a sort of a very informative prompt every time. So in green is the name of my username at the machine that I'm using, and it also gives me the version of the Git bash environment that I'm using. You can actually modify those and customize those. We're not going to do that right now. I'm just going to run some basic Linux commands inside this bash shell to show you how it works. The first one that I'm going to run is pwd, and it tells me that right now I'm in the directory C, my drive C, users, and the directory ARAUZ. Let's change. I want to go from this directory. I'm going to go into my directory called downloads, I believe, downloads. And if I do another, and once I get there, notice that my prompt changes, and it says you're in your home directory, which is Z users and my last name and house, and inside there you are in the directory downloads. And in this directory, I want to see all the files that I have downloaded on this machine here. To do that, I'm going to type the command ls, stands for listing, and it gives me all the files that I have downloaded there. I'm also going to type an ls space -l to see it with some more details to get the size of those files, as well as some permissions. But we're not going to worry about that in this class. Again, we're going to use Git for something really basic. Among those basic things is to deal with large files, large comma separated value files, and we're going to do that in a separate video.